Hello everyone and welcome back to another week of Road to TCG Worlds 2016, where unfortunately I put up a poll last week between Mega Gardevoir EX and Jolton EX Valplum, but I had not realized how freakishly expensive Jolteon EXs were. Like, I had not realized how rare the Pokemon Generations expansion really is. Therefore, there aren't any for trade like readily available. The ones that are available are valued at upwards of 30 or to 40 packs depending on the set. So that's not a price I'm willing to pay, honestly. I wish Nintendo already took notice of my channel and allowed me to use one of those master accounts, but alas, that's not happened yet, so we'll have to make do with Gardevoir EX, which is definitely a very interesting card still. Let's take a look. Mega Gardevoir EX, 210 HP, which is on the lower end for Mega Pokemon, but Brilliant Arrow. Brilliant Arrow is an incredible attack where, with enough energy in play, you're able to one-hit KO absolutely every single Pokemon out there. The big Pokemon EXs are no trouble for you at all, but it does take a while to power up, and losing one Gardevoir can be very detrimental. So it does have a darkness resistance, which could come in handy because Yveltal is definitely very popular, and currently there's no real challenge set by the Pokemon trading card game online game. So hopefully the metagame is a little more even, because last week it seemed like all we did was face off against Psychic decks. So we have our regular Gardevoir EX, which is mostly there just to evolve, but who knows, maybe Shining Wind, which removes Gardevoir EX's metal weakness, could come in handy at some point. And as you can see, this is the Generations Gardevoir EX. I did pull this card in one of my locked booster packs, so that's why I have this one, and the other two are the regular ones. Now, to support Mega Gardevoir EX, we of course have Aromatisse, so that we can play around with the energy, conserve them, and potentially heal up our Pokemon through the use of AC and Max Potions, which got reprinted. And we also have 4 Xerneas in order to start using Geomancy every single turn. And I have been using Xerneas a lot in the video game, so I'm definitely looking forward to see if the Xerneas card has the same power as it does in the video game. And finally, well, we of course have the 3 Spritzes in order to evolve into Aromatisse, and we have 2 Shaymin-EX to further support our draw. Now, not much else I can say about that. It's pretty straightforward, pretty consistent. So let's move on to the energy. Now, I am using 10 total energy, which is a little low for the standard. I believe the standard is between 11 and 12 for this deck, but we do have Mega Turbos, so that should definitely compensate for that. Now, finally, we have our mandatory for Sycamore. We have 2 Birch Observations, which is not the best card, but it's probably the better one out there. 2 Lysander in order to be able to get one-hit KOs against everything, and finally 1 AC in order to act as a supporter Max Potion, but reusable through Versus Seeker. Now, aside from that, we of course have our 4 Versus Seeker, 4 Ultra Balls in order to fetch every Pokemon in the deck, 4 Fairy Garden because they're super important in order to be able to heal effectively, switch around Gardevoirs when you cannot switch or when you cannot heal, conserve energy and things like that. 3 Spirit Links in order to make sure you don't lose a turn Mega Evolving unless it's really early and you can afford it, but you usually want to keep using Geomancy, so you probably won't have any opening to not attack. 3 Trainer's Mail to dig up out all those Spirit Links, and our other utility cards, which in this case are 2 Mega Turbo, 2 Max Potion, and 2 Max Elixir. Now, this 2-2-2 split, I'm not entirely sure it's optimal. I would love to run 4 of each of those cards, but the deck is really tight. So We'll see what we can do with the deck as it stands. Let me save that. And let's jump into the versus ladder and start using Mega Gardevoir. Now, right off the bat, I can already tell that we are definitely at a huge disadvantage against Night March. For sure. I mean, our attackers are really, like, they take up a lot of energy. We cannot trade effectively with Night March. Like, we have absolutely nothing to trade effectively with Night March. Adding in one Jirachi could potentially help us, but I think it would only delay the inevitable. Like, we would need a whole army of like 4 Jirachi in order to ensure we got that KO every turn, or we got rid of all their energy and things like that. And they also usually have either Milotic or Bronzong in order to power up their Pokemon, so probably not the best idea. So we do start off Xerneas, which is obviously ideal. We also have an Ultra Ball in order to find ourselves another basic. But if you don't have 2 basic Pokemon, you don't really make the best use of Xerneas. Now, we're up against a fire deck. Psychics, Third Eye, your opponent reveals his or her hand, and then he discards and draws. And we see a lot of blacksmiths, so my opponent will be putting a ton of pressure against us really quickly, which could definitely be very problematic. Now, off of our mulligan, we do get a Spritzy, which I will not bench, because my opponent is going first, and it's actually not Entei. We're actually up against Team Magma's Camerupt deck. Probably using Camerupt EX, and potentially Flareon, I guess. And wow, yeah, I actually wanted to use the Pokemon 20th anniversary sleeves, but I chose the wrong ones. Those sleeves are just really cool. So, my opponent is going to dig through a lot of his cards. That's the whole point of blacksmith-based decks. There we see a blacksmith. Interesting that he would keep it in his hand, given that it's so big right now. He discards a Xerosic, which is great. There's already a Berserker in the discard pile. I didn't get to see what he got, but looks like it was a Flareon EX, which 20 more damage for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So we're both going to be dealing more damage based on our energy, but I have the advantage in that I'm more cost effective for sure, and I also can spread out my energy, whereas he has to focus all of his energy onto Flareon, and once that Flareon goes down, he has to restart powering up another Flareon. So interestingly enough, he decides to power up Numel instead of the Flareon. So we top deck a Gardevoir, probably one of the absolute best cards I could have seen here. We definitely have like a more than ideal start. Like, I'm surprised at how well this is going, and I even get a Sycamore for next turn. I'm not gonna play my Spirit Link just yet because we did see a Xerosic. I mean, there's no harm in not attaching the Spirit Link this turn. He only has 1 card left in his hand, and I mean, the odds of it being a Judge or potentially I don't know, a red card, I guess, are not very high. It's definitely higher chance for it to be a Berserker, which could be used into Xerosic in order to get rid of the Spirit Link. But okay, he actually attached to the active normal in order to be able to retreat and deal damage through Flareon, which at this point is dealing 110 damage. So we will get another free turn, but through our... Wow, and I top deck a Xerneas. Like, I'm top decking like a god today. I don't know what's going on, but I'll definitely take this. Now, there's no way we KO Flareon EX this turn, right? There's absolutely no way. We cannot get 3 more energy into play, or we could potentially, but we would really have to get very, very lucky. Doesn't seem like he would be able to get a KO on us either. I mean, at least not onto Gardevoir EX. He needs another energy to KO a Xerneas. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to retreat for this Xerneas to potentially prevent a KO. I'm going to Fairy Transfer this energy, wow, that's so weird, onto the active, and this energy and Aromatisse onto the Gardevoir EX in order to, because it does have more HP, so that means we preserve it better, I guess. Wow. Huh. Okay. I'm not gonna bench Shaymin just yet. I think this is all I'm gonna do for now. Well, I could go for... Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Mega Gardevoir. Gonna get rid of the Birch and the Max Potion, I guess? Yeah. No, of the Xerneas and the Birch. Yeah, no need to get rid of the Max Potion just yet. I will get a Mega Gardevoir, and this is the first time I think that I'm looking through my deck. The second Aromatisse is there, so that's obviously great for us. And I will Mega Evolve, and now I'm going to Geomancy once again. And this time around, I'm going to attach the energy to my Mega Gardevoir and to my Spritzy, because that means he has a choice to make. He can get rid of energy in case he has a Lysander. He can get rid of my Aromatisse and prevent any further energy transfer, or he can KO the Spritzy and get rid of 1 energy. But either way, if I attach the energy to Aromatisse, not only would I lose my energy transfer Aromatisse, I would be 1 energy short. So at least I prevent that from happening. And actually, my opponent is simply drawing dead, and yeah, there's a victory. With the Max Elixir, with the Trainer's Mail, and with my Professor Sycamore, I believe we would have been able for sure to get just 1 more energy into play in order to one-hit KO that Flareon, and that would have been the end of my opponent. So we win our first match with this deck. I'm not entirely sure on how competitive my opponent's deck really was. Flareon EX, I mean, it's a really nice looking card, but its attack for an EX Pokemon seems a little underpowered. If it were plus 30 damage, then maybe you could make a case for it. But as it stood, I don't think it was like worth it. Now, we seem to be up against a Psychic colorless deck, so potentially Trevenant. Trevenant, since it won a regionals, has been pretty prominent and pretty popular, but I do get to go first, so... And I do get the Xerneas starts once more, which is obviously great, but we will not be able to use Geomancy until the turn after this one. It is Trevenant, as I predicted, so going first means we can potentially get turns of energy attachments, or rather 1 turn of playing item cards, but due to Ascension, I think it's gonna be just the 1 turn. Yeah, there's the Phantom start. So we need to hit something good off of this Trainer's Mail, like an Ultra Ball. That's definitely a good starting point. We probably won't be able to make good use of the Mega Turbo, but there's another Trainer's Mail. We get a Versus Seeker as our only choice. I guess I'll keep it because I could potentially Lysander something and then immediately use it. But here with the Ultra Ball, I'm gonna get rid of the Mega Turbo for sure, and potentially the Fairy Garden. No, the Fairy Garden seems very important. So does the Spirit Link, and I guess I'll get rid of the Verse Seeker. That seems like the most indispensable card. Now, unfortunately, I can't afford to go for Shaymin just yet. I need to go for my Gardevoir in order to be able to potentially power it up. And I guess I will just do this because of the fact that if I attach an energy and my opponent removes it, I would be in a lot of trouble. Having one energy at least onto the Mega Gardevoir seems really useful. And now he does get the turn 1 Trevenant with a Mystery Energy. I could Lysander right now, but I don't see like the point. Now that we top deck the Professor Birch, not attaching the energy definitely hurts us from last turn. But at least we have the chance to get more energy through this Birch. I do flip tails, which is unfortunate. I do top deck Shaymin. So that's good. And now I would really like to see a Spritzy. Filling out our bench is obviously not ideal. But I can, wow, not attaching that energy might really set us behind in energy attachments. It really might hurt us. It will give my opponent a turn in order to power himself up. Because if I had attached, then I could have attached the energy to the yeah, well, there's the Crushing Hammer. So that was my justification. I had no idea I was going to just top deck the Birch. So yeah, he does get rid of the energy off of Mega Gardevoir, which is fine. Does he have the Trevenant break already? Well, looks like my opponent had a pretty ideal hand. And if he gets the break right now, he will play 3 damage counters onto everything. Now he gets another Heads. Which is obviously not good. Like, I really wanted to conserve that energy. But looks like he misses out on the break, which is great. Definitely great for us. Because no damage during this turn. Oh, never mind. Wow. Man, my opponent running so well. He actually opts to go into Shaymin instead of the Trevenant break. So if he misses the Trevenant break here, he might be in a lot of, well, he won't be in a lot of trouble, but it will definitely help us out a lot. He's really digging for the Trevenant break. Either he gets it. So this is not going to be an enjoyable time. It's really not. Especially because Xerneas' Rainbow Spear is capped at 100. And how many hammers did he play? Okay, he played 3, so he got 2 heads. If he had gotten just 1 heads, that would have been pretty great. But wow, he actually went for another Shaymin. Why? Okay, he gets... Okay, well, does he just not run the break? Is that what's going on? Does he just not have the break? I really have no clue. But, okay, I will bench the Gardevoir, I guess, and I'm going to Sycamore away. Those cards, unfortunately, they're not going to be useful at all under Trick Room, or under Item Lock, rather. I've been playing too much VGC. And we don't see a Spritzy just yet, but we do see an Aromatisse, which we might have to discard. Oh boy, so things are not looking good, not gonna lie. The Bursting Balloon seemed like a wasted attachment from my opponent. Oh man, he's going to just KO my Xerneas with the Muscle Band. Oh boy. Now see, what we have to do is like chain up a lot of KOs through Mega Gardevoir. I think I have to give up on the Aromatisse option. He actually opts to go into Trevenant break, which now forces us to have 6 energy in play. And yeah, he does the right thing. He KOs our Xerneas, which means Oh boy, which means we're in a lot of trouble here, guys. Thankfully, this Xerneas should survive the turn. Okay, so we get this Pritzy. Can I... Okay. If I Geomancy here, and I attach to Gardevoir, and attach to potentially the other Gardevoir, I would absolutely need the Stadium. Yeah, I think I have to hold on to my Aromatisse. Because there's 21 cards left in my deck. I would love to have a Lysander for next turn. I could also risk the Professor Birch, but I don't really like that. And 2 more energy in play means 5 total energy. So yeah, there's only going to be 1 energy left. And so we're probably not going to get a KO onto that Trevenant next turn. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus the 3 in the discard pile, so there is 1 energy in the prizes. But what we really need, I mean, he hasn't been dealing a ton of damage to my Gardevoir EX, which is obviously ideal. Oh no, please no. Oh, come on. That's 3 out of 4. That is absolutely not fair. Ugh. That is so not fair. So he opts to do 30 to absolutely everyone this time around. I top deck another Xerneas. But we need to do damage this turn. We cannot afford to waste another turn, so we definitely need our Stadium here. If we don't draw a Stadium, okay, we do. We don't draw our last energy, of course, but I really wasn't expecting to do so. And we actually get the Lysander, but we can't Lysander and AC at the same time. So I think attacking with this Gardevoir EX is our better play. First off, I'm gonna retreat. Yeah, we have to attack with this Gardevoir EX. Then I'm going to Fairy transfer these 2 energy onto the active. And then that's it. And then we just have to Shining Wind here. Oh boy, it's gonna be a really close match, guys. It's going to be a really, really close match. I could Lysander a Shaymin next turn in order to get myself 2 prizes potentially. Free up that Fairy energy, which is going to be really important. My opponent does counter Stadium me, so the Stadium War is real. It's definitely real. There's 1, 2, that's his 3rd Dimension Valley. But we might, yeah, we cannot Lysander anything that's not Shaymin actually. I mean, well, I guess we could Lysander the Gengar. We could Lysander the Gengar. Now it's going to be interesting to see what he opts to do here. He actually goes for a Tree Slam, opting to deal a ton of damage to my Mega Gardevoir EX, or rather to my regular Gardevoir EX. Okay, so I top deck the energy, making our Max Elixir completely useless. So is it worth it anymore to use the Lysander? Because I do get a KO onto this Trevenant break. And I could use AC, but I think the AC is better off being used on Mega Gardevoir. This is a really, really difficult match. Okay, I'm gonna attach my energy. That last head flip was so huge for my opponent because we are capped at 150 damage right now. That's our damage cap. Now we could also potentially deck him, I guess. But that's not too likely. I will play potentially my last Stadium. I'm going to Fairy Transfer 1 energy over here. See if he has Lysander. Okay, first I have to retreat. I definitely have to retreat. Okay. So we have a KO for sure. The only Pokemon that doesn't get KO'd is Xerneas. So I'm gonna leave the energy there. And man, this is going to be rough. We get the KO, he can then 3 slam, but I think this Mega Gardevoir could potentially get us 2 KOs. The thing is, do I want... Yeah, I think I want to save the AC. I think I do. It's so confusing, guys. But I'm gonna get rid of this Trevenant break. My opponent has gotten... Like, if he had gone 50-50 on Crushing Hammer flips, we would be golden. But I'm not really counting on... on freeing up the energy anytime soon. Like, it's a 1 out of 6 chance. So it's not likely at all. My opponent actually Sycamores. So that might give us a shot here to deck him out. That might give us a shot here to deck him out. Okay, so he goes for the Tree Slam. So he's focusing on KOing the active. Another Tree Slam will mean a KO onto our Aromatisse. But I mean, I can Lysander the Gengar. I can Lysander the Gengar. Then he could get a KO on my Aromatisse. Okay, I'm gonna Lysander the Gengar. That means we can use items, which at this point obviously do not help us. I guess I'll use the Max Elixir, but just to see the cards, because there's another Lysander, there's another Max Elixir. If we had Mega Turbo, if we had our Mega Turbo right now, there's one in the discard pile. Things could potentially be quite different. Now, I guess I attack. No, because if he can retreat, well, no. Yeah, I'm gonna attack. Deal 150 damage. Next turn, I could potentially get a KO through Gardevoir EX's Life Leap. He has immediately the Mystery Energy. He's down to 3 cards. Okay, he's going to Judge. So our AC is probably going to be gone at this point. Oh wow, we actually get the Lysander and the AC. Does he get the Muscle Band? Does he get the Muscle Band? That's the question here. He doesn't. Okay, so he's going to Tree Slam. And he will take a KO onto my Aromatisse. I should have moved this energy. Ah, man. That head flip was so ridiculous, guys. That head flip was so ridiculous. Okay. There's one switch. There's the escape rope. There's one DCE. There's 2 DCs in play. There's one regular psychic. There's 2 mystery. Okay, 1 DCE. 2 DCEs. Okay. My play here is A, to bench Spritzy. B, to Lysander the Shaymin. And C, to get a Versus Seeker. Let's see, he has 2 Mystery Energy. He cannot attach Mystery Energy to the Shaymin. There's 4 DC already out of commission. There's only 1 basic psychic energy. So, what's my play here? Do I just retreat? Is that my play, to retreat? Maybe it is. Okay, I'm gonna Verse Seeker for a Lysander just in case. Yeah, because, well, I have no idea. Because if he can retreat, he KOs Gardevoir no matter what, so it doesn't really matter. Oh man. And if he does retreat, he can Tree Slam for the KO onto Shaymin, so I'm just going to pass my turn. If he has a Psychic Energy to retreat, he has a Psychic Energy to retreat. Oh, he has a Float Stone. So that's the game. My opponent got so ridiculously lucky. Well, no, he didn't get so ridiculously lucky, but those head flips, man, like he got them at the exact right time, and we had one of our energy price, which ended up being too crucial. Absolutely too crucial. So that will finish the game for today. Definitely a very interesting match against Trevenant. I don't think it was such a bad matchup as it appeared to be, but our energy, like getting rid of 3 energy out of the blue is definitely something that hurts any deck. No matter what you're using, it hurts absolutely every deck. So thank you guys for watching. That's it for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more Mega Gardevoir EX action. Please leave a like on the video if you can. We're trying to hit 50 likes on each video this week. If you can help me out with that, scroll down 1 second, click the like button and come back up. That would be amazing. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.